How are we doing today? We are going live with some Assetto Corsa. Yes, yes, yes. Assetto Corsa. Of course, the thing is completely incorrect right now, but that's fine. I have tea. I have. I'm feeling a bit shit to be honest, but I'm ready to rock and roll, or as ready as I'll ever be. So let's rock and roll. I'm not very good at this track. I've not done much practice, and basically all the practice I'm getting is what I'm getting right now. I still don't have a livery because the side view is being. Wow, fucking 25s! Oh wow. Yeah, I'm like hilariously off pace. So I have an hour to get to like a more reasonable level of pace. Or we're cooked. Like this is like, it's a very nice and flowing track, but it's also a lot of blind corners. Like this one. Bonk. I think fact damage is not on the practice server. So I can just kinda keep going. Yeah, see that one I sometimes can do full throttle, sometimes I can't, and it seems very unpredictable. For the first time I'm actually feeling a bit limited by the setups as well. Like, I feel like I should be able to make this more stable and without sacrificing maneuverability, but at least I feel like I would be able to do that if I was legally allowed to by the league. If I was allowed to change the setup. But oh well. I think at this point everyone who cares knows about my preferences in regards to open versus locked setups. So it's kind of not too much point to continue talking about it. It just at this point it's just kind of whinging. Even though I do sometimes want to whinge, but you know, not too much. Also, yeah, I deliberately haven't sent out a going live message yet. Ah, that's a bad line. Yeah, this corner complex is just fucking brutal. I don't know how to do it properly. And like generally, like this track is one of those oops all S's, you know? You can't have a normal corner exit, it has to be a bit of a... It has to have a bit of a wiggle in there. I deliberately wanted to let him by, but I didn't want to let him by that much. Didn't want to go off track to do that, you know? I mean, like, what is this, right? You can't... You know, not a single normal corner exit inside. I think, is this a motorcycle track as well? I feel like it is. It has some motorcycle vibes, you know, like how all of these corners are just like not really anything super low speed, you know, which, you know, that's only so slow you can go while racing a motorcycle. Like I fucked that. Wow, I fucked that real bad. Holy hell. What? I don't get it. I mean, overtaking is gonna be extremely difficult around here, I can tell you that much. Even... yeah, it seems like I just... I forgot how to do that part completely. You have to have like a certain amount of bravery here. Which I just don't have enough practice to have. Fucking hell. Okay, that's fine. Are you fucking shitting me right now? Yeah, I feel like I'm braking too early then, but I don't feel like it's possible to brake any later as well. I like turn one is also just a fucking mystery to me. Like he just gained like a fucking half a second on me. I don't know how. I can't do that. That was nice, I think. But like still, I'm losing massive amounts of time, like, and I don't know where it's going. Like, you just look at that half spin. Like, that's nonsense. I saved it, but that's still massive time loss. This one is... This target really feels like everyone just has fucking more grip than me, straight up. You see, this is why I just don't know. I need to find something without a fixed setup again. Because you can't just find that much space just on the on track alone, you know? Not within the time constraints of actually being in a... Like, look at that, the car just loses grip there, and if I make it more stable, then I lose turning, and if I lose... And I can't lose any more turning, because it already doesn't have enough. Like, this is the real... no. I'm gonna whinge. I'm gonna have myself a big ol' whinge. Because, like... When you're given, like, so few tools in the setup, you really cannot adjust the car to the track properly. So, like, you just end up in this weird fucking middle ground. Where, like, you and, like, I think, honestly, this idea is just doing an excellent job of completely just proving that a fixed setup creates a closer grid, because I think the field spread is the biggest I've seen in the LPR. This is like one of the most locked down. One of the most locked down setups LPR has ever done. Just slightly. I think it's just slightly more open than the Praga season, but the field spread is still massive. Because the slower people aren't allowed to adjust the car to their needs. Because I think it feels like they did take a lot of the criticism of the Praga season to heart about, you know, making a setup, like trying so hard to make a drivable setup that it ends up being not very fun and frankly not very drivable, because they decided that drivability means understeer, which, like, not really. I mean, it might be drivable if you're driving real slowly, but it's not really raceable if you're just understeering off every corner and into, you know, into everyone you're trying to overtake. I'm really feeling not well. I'm, like, feeling like I'm getting sick. Bro, I'm gonna be so cooked if I get sick, man. This is, like, the worst time for that. There's so much shit I have to do now, you know? Much better. Still like terribly slow to be honest, but I was never gonna be fast with this little practice. Okay, it just lets go. It just lets go randomly. Like it feels bad to feel that when it feels like the car is just something is wrong with the car and you're not legally allowed and you're not allowed to change it. That feels bad. That's why, and that's at the end of the day, that's why I don't like fixed setups. And like, yeah, once again, this is massively better than the Praga season was. I don't feel like I'm trying to race something that really wasn't meant to be raced. Like I don't constantly feel like I'm having to just either give up any kind of stability to have a little bit of turning, or give up any kind of turning to have a little bit of stability. Because like over there, like literally the only thing you could really adjust was the wing, which you really just kept at the same value but basically all the time. You basically had to keep the wing at 0 or you fucked, and you know the rear ARB, so like literally every means, the only means that they gave us of adjusting the of gaining more turning, the only way to do that was to give up rear grip, which means that you had to directly sacrifice stability. And yeah, okay, obviously turning will always reduce stability somewhat, but usually you cannot do it by adding front grip instead. And then it would only remove, it wouldn't actually remove rear grip, it would just change the balance. And then you can do other things to maintain balance, but with Pragas we were not allowed to do anything about the balance. The car was always gonna be balanced terribly. Yeah, I keep talking about it because that was genuinely my least favorite car to drive over the course of a season. Even, honestly, far worse than the Renault even. Even though I did more of the Praga season, it's just that I didn't have... the Renault just happened, hey Andelin, how you doing? Yeah, the Renault season just happened to happen when I was not... I wasn't, you know, I don't want to say like when I've temporarily lost some of my interest in sim racing, so like that's really why I didn't do all of Renault, but it was better than the Praga though. How are you doing, Underling? I'm feeling a bit shit, but I'm racing because I signed up to it and you know, might as well. Don't think it's gonna make me feel any worse, so whatever. Oh man, this truck is brutal, by the way. It's a good, like I talked to you about joining this league, right? But you might not have consciously made the call, but it was a good call not to join for this truck. Because this truck is fucking brutal. I mean, you can tell it's fucking brutal, right? Right now we're practicing. The race is in about an hour, and I desperately need the practice. Yeah, this track, I mean, you can tell that it's brutal. It's absolutely it's a very difficult track in the best of times, and this car I think is the car is making it even more difficult. Yeah, sounds good to me. So yeah, this here track, this is called Grobnik. It's a track in Croatia. You know, on the coast. Rather lovely track, but like I forgot to turn. I'm cooked. But the thing is, it's got like two massive blind corners. Like T1 is completely blind, and T2, and then you got the turn to go onto the back straight is also blind. I think this track is like yeah, this track is getting very close to just being a bit too much, you know? I like because see, there are certain features of a racetrack that I equate with spice, with the level of spiciness that you can have a little bit, and if you enjoy that, you may even have a lot, but at some point it just becomes pure pain. You know, even for the most die-hard spice enjoyers. And like at that point, you start like to enjoy it, you have to enjoy the pain more than than the spice. And one of those features, one of the big ones, is blind corners. Like if you can't see where you're going, that is, I mean, that's, first of all, that makes it difficult to drive, but it can also make it very frustrating. Makes it very frustrating to learn, and makes it might make it far too difficult to actually race there. And this track is like, this is like a very spicy dish. It's not over the limit for me, but I can easily see why it would be over the limit for somebody else. Some tracks that I do consider over the limit, I mean, my prime go-to example is Portimao, also known as Algarve. It's racetrack in Portugal. It's where the last Portuguese Grand Prix was held. It's where the next one is going to be held. And I think it's quite a terrible track, just because every corner is a blind corner. Every corner is over a crest, which also a very difficult kind of corner. And again, another one of the corners that fits into my spice analogy. And Portimao is the kind of track that is just like, you just eating a fucking chili pepper. You are just literally, you taking a chili pepper and you just eating it. There is nothing else. And like, I suppose you can be into that, but most people are not. And of course, and importantly, I am not. Most importantly for me. Yeah, just a complete chili pepper, you know, not pickled, not anything, just raw capsaicin, basically. Another good example of that, I think, is a track like Fuji, which again just has a lot of these very difficult, frustrating corners. But with Fuji, the interesting thing is that they're all concentrated next to each other. So it's like you're eating a normal dish, and then you just bite into a piece of pepper, and you just get fucking assaulted by the heat. Now imagine that, but like it always happens at the end of every spoon you take. Again, some people are probably into that. But like, at that point, I think they're enjoying the pain more than the spice. And that's the same thing about people who actually enjoy driving Fuji as a... I think on some level those people want to suffer. Yes, yeah, turn 1 is just brutal around here. This one is like... This is on the edge. This is on the edge of enjoyability. I think this would be a lot of fun if I drove like a lower Formula car on here, right? If I drove like a Formula 3 car, I think it would be great fun, but like completely unraceable. But potentially a ton of fun to drive. Completely unraceable though. Or like a Praga. Actually a Praga would be lovely around here, I think. I'm gonna try the Praga after the race, straight up. Remind me to try the Praga around the circuit. And if you're not familiar, a Praga is refers to the Praga R1, which is like this fun little track car that's like a little baby Le Mans prototype. It doesn't have a massive amount of power, but it's small and light, and it has some good aerodynamics, which makes it a really fun little car to drive around. Or a Radical. A Radical would be excellent around here. Again, that's a very similar class of car to the Praga. It's a bit more difficult to drive than the Praga, quite a bit more rowdy. But the idea is similar. It's just like this cheap little thing that has decent aero, not too much power, but it's very light and very small. Like it's the kind of thing that you know is used for like I would say just above entry level motorsports sometimes. Praga more so Radical than the Praga, just by the virtue of the Radical being, I think, quite a bit more popular, quite a bit more financially successful. So like you can actually have multiple racing series using it, while Praga just has the one Praga Cup. And you know, it's quite cheap by race car standards. Man, you know, it's just a fun time for everyone involved. But there's like a lot of cars like that, you know, there's the... You know, there's one that's made quite... Like the aerial Atom cars made quite famous by Top Gear, the KTM Crossbow or X-Bow. All kind of around the same idea of being this relatively cheap track car that can punch far above its weight literally by being very light and small. Like Praga can match GT3 pace at times, despite being much cheaper and much lower powered. You know, so like, if you know who Jimmy Broadbent is, he's like... If you don't know, he's a sim racing YouTuber who's mostly famous for having lived in a shed for a time and for having now made the jump into real motorsport pretty successfully. He is racing, you know, at the Nürburgring in a Porsche Cup car now, and he actually is the Praga Cup champion. He drove a Praga in real life. He owned his championship-winning Praga for a time before selling it, because it might be, you know, it might be cheap for a race car. It's still cheap for a race car, which means you still have to pay like for race car maintenance and for actually running the damn thing. Like you can't just drive it somewhere. You have to ship it to places. So it's a whole thing. so he ended up selling it. And I think the biggest missed opportunity was that maybe there wasn't really a... okay, I don't want to say missed opportunity, because there very easily could have just not been an opportunity. In fact, that's probably why it never happened, but I would have loved to see Jimmy take his Praga on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Because that thing, I bet that thing can set a pretty damn impressive lap time around there. And I bet that thing would be like a mountains of fun to drive there as well. I mean, it might happen yet, like... If, like, cause maybe Praga might want to do like a bit of a publicity stunt with it. You know, that it would be some I think it would be some good marketing for them to get Jimmy to get Jimmy back into a Praga and just have him do a lap around the Nordschleife. It just straight up, Praga can give him the car and do it, and people would love him for it. Black helicopters on the horizon. Hello, Grobnik octopus. That sounds like it. That sounds like it could be a song. They stand. There might be an Assetto mod for that. There probably is a tank for Assetto Corsa, I'll be honest with you. Someone's probably done that. See, the problem with that is Assetto Corsa is a much better game than War Thunder, so like... It feels disrespectful to mix War Thunder into Assetto Corsa. My right hand hurts like a bitch. I don't know how to do turn one. It's oh, sorry, mate. Holy. I just feel like I have so much understeer around that happen. Because it's such a... It feels like it's a corner that feels like it goes on forever. Mate, look at that. Like, the grip just goes away so quickly on the... Like, it's gonna be so difficult, so brutally difficult to keep this on track in the race. You know, I was thinking about how one would make like a GTA like, but with realistic driving. You know, that would actually require a steering wheel. Obviously, a game like that, the big problem with that would be that the target audience is just so small, way too small to justify any, you know, large-scale spending on something like that. But the thought entered my mind. Actually, the thought I had is there's this game from the 90s called Quarantine, where you it's like a 90s vehicle combat game. You drive, you know, a taxi in a post-apocalyptic world, and you have to do, you know, be a taxi driver while fighting off while everyone's trying to kill you, and you have to fight them off with like mounted machine guns and the like. It's a pretty interesting game, but the thing is, it was made long before a concept like that could be done justice. Because the year was 1992, okay? Like, we are before... Like, we're even before true 3D. Like before real 3D games really showed up outside of niche simulators. And like which means it had like Doom level graphics, right? Trying to do a massive open world and driving. And like you had like some RPG like mechanics, you had upgrades and stuff. That game was like so absurdly ambitious for its time and for any time really. And like I wonder if also it was yeah, also like every car was a hover car in that game, so that was interesting. And I'm wondering if something like that could now be done, I suppose, at a smaller scale, but like deliberately at a smaller scale, with how much easier really game development is. Easier, I would say more, how much more accessible game development is. And I'm wondering if like a game kinda like that could be made today, but like as a more dedicated driving and shooting type of game. You know, one hand on the wheel, one hand on the mouse, just aiming and shooting. Well, it's like for a long time I meant to just download the Godot engine and just try to make... I was wondering if I could use Godot to just load the Assetto Corsa, make something that would just load Assetto Corsa content into Godot and I was wondering like how possible that would be as well. Because the thing is, like well over 10 years since its release, there really isn't a clear successor to Assetto Corsa. Because the game itself, don't get me wrong, it's a great game and the mods are very much keeping it alive, but the game is really, it's being stretched to its absolute limits and beyond. You know, with the like mods are making Assetto Corsa do things it was never meant to do, things that original developers didn't dare consider implementing. And the cracks have been showing for a long time now. It's a very what the fuck, that just died. At this point, AC is a very flawed experience, especially if you use any of those features that are modded in. But we keep driving on AC because frankly there's nothing that is massively like, there's not a great alternative. R Factor 2 is a thing, but the modding community there is not quite as large, and generally the community is not as large. And games like Le Mans Ultimate is just very limited in scope, purposefully so. iRacing is a huge money sink, and And like, there is really nothing quite like Assetto Corsa, because Assetto Corsa Evo seems to more or less have been a flop, with them giving up on a lot of their stated design goals now, and the multiplayer being nothing to write home about by, by all accounts, and them acting weirdly hostile towards the modding community, to to the point like, guys, you do realize that the modding community is a big reason people still give a shit about having a successor to Assetto Corsa, right? You know, the modding community is the big reason why we're talking about that instead of hoping for an R Factor 3 or just... And like, I get that it's licensing is a big deal in the sim racing world, right? You're dealing with these billion, trillion-dollar car brands who like, some of them value their image to a ridiculous extent. Shout out Ferrari, and you know, you have them forcing telling developers basically not to implement a realistic damage model because they didn't want to show their cars being damaged. However ridiculous that is, frankly, it's a completely ridiculous requirement. And like genuinely, sometimes to me it feels like the only way we're getting a proper successor to Assetto Corsa is just if someone makes an open source free re-implementation of Assetto Corsa, because then you could build on it, you know, a lot more easily than what people are doing right now. You could you could actually add features at the game level instead of having to awkwardly stack them on top of the existing game and having to inject code via DLL or whatever. You just fucking put it into the actual game if it's free and open source. And I just wondering if it's realistically possible to if it's actually realistic to just build essentially a game designed to load Assetto Corsa's content. Because if an open source project manages to do that, even any project manages to do that, right? That's like instant access to over a decade worth of content. You have access to official Assetto Corsa content. You have access to an absurd amount of mods, and you have access to developers like race sim studios, like virtual racing cars, like United Race Design. You can collaborate with them and have them make bespoke cars for your game, which they have done that before. VRC have collaborated with developers of some arcade racing games. I think URD as well. URD have been contacted to make. They have made officially licensed versions of some cars for Assetto Corsa. Yeah, and again, like with if there was a proper re-implementation, it could properly at the engine level implement changes like a better tire model, implement weather without having to hack it in essentially. And like that certainly would be far easier and actually within the realm of possibility for for like free project, unlike making a full racing game from scratch. Actually, it's just a bloody shame that there is no successor to AC as it is, as it stands. Like, don't get me wrong, AC Evo, it's still under early access, right? It's still not finished. And I would be a fool to say it's completely hopeless, because worse situations have been turned around. But it would have to be a turnaround. R Factor 2's development, well, basically, is basically dead at this point. The developers, I believe, have just moved on to LMU, which is... It's never gonna have that kind of mod support just because it's an officially licensed game of WEC, So... Like in the same way that the ACC is an officially licensed GT World... GT Challenge... Whatever, GT World Challenge, whatever game. And I have to restart because I tapped out and I fucked with my wheel. I'm getting sweaty. I'm actually getting sweaty right now. That's suboptimal. I forgot I also have to wake up early tomorrow to watch the fucking Japanese Grand Prix. Yippee. But yeah. Let's see if I can realize my time gains that I wasn't able to. I'm fucking... I'm actually really sweating, holy hell. It's alright, I guess I'll have to shower tomorrow. Which I think I would have had to anyway. That's annoying. Oh, I accidentally turned off the light. That's lovely. Night mode on. Here we go. Oh, this is actually really unpleasant now, because the contrast is gonna start hurting my eyes pretty quickly. Yay. Because the thing is, this desk is actually bumping up against the light switch on this side of the room. Like, this room has two switches, so one by the door, one by the bed, which is actually nice, but not with the position this thing is in. Big time loss. People are on medium, say. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe I'm supposed to be on mediums. Well, let me turn the light on. Because if I don't, it's gonna be a problem pretty quickly. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to be on mediums actually. That locks up way easier. Lovely. Doesn't want to know what that's. Need us to kill them all, but fortunately they only killed the surface ducks. Damn. Why did they kill the ducks? What have the ducks done? There is no grip, what the fuck? So I'm trying to... Well, good luck figuring it out. No, well, tell the rest of us before they kill you for figuring it out, okay? Mediums have no grip even compared to like worn softs, I think. Yeah. The declassification of files? What files? Operation Duck Hunt, amazing. That's my favorite NES game. That's a lie. Like damn, this still is unreal. Some on that corner, but whack or something. Yeah, talking about ducks, I need to decide what to do about my rimworld situation. As you may know, I got fucking obliterated yesterday. Like, fully, absolutely murdered. My colony is so cooked. I'll read that in a second. Fuck! Like, this is just so unstable. The icon plan sent the duck hunting dog to the moon. I was actually where the dog and duck hunt came from. Sounds reasonable. I think should I incorporate that into my belief system? But like, this is just so unstable under braking. This is not good. That was a terrible last corner, but at least I didn't fucking die. What lap time is that gonna be though? That's actually... Okay, if I've done a PB while making that big of a mistake on mediums, mediums have to be the tire. I fucked it, I fucked it, fucked it, fucked it. It's pissing me off, chat. I know a 20, I can do a 27 now quite easily. I think I'm just gonna take a break from now until the start of the race. As this is just getting brutal. Yeah, this is just getting entirely unreasonable. I've got 50 minutes until race time, so that's enough to take a small break. So, chat, how we doing? How we doing today? Let me just save that setup real quick. So with a 125 peak lap time, what kind of, how many laps are we expecting? Let me check. I forgot to count. Wait, are we really expecting 15 fucking laps? That's a that's a bit brutal. Oh well. Yeah, definitely want to go on the mediums then. Man, I'm feeling bad. So if I get a cold, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be so upset if I get a cold. Actually gonna eat a Halls. Menthol candy. So it can freeze up my throat so I can keep streaming. Maybe not the most healthy way to do it, but whatever. Eee. Ten minutes to go. 10 minutes to chill and get ready for the race, for the event, you might say. Fastest car. Vroom vroom. Honk honk. Chat, 10 minutes to go to event start. I'm actually gonna go ahead and send out my live notification. Glitch? What the fuck is a glitch? Yeah, I have to type like that, unfortunately. Like I've deliberately not sent out notification during practice because I wasn't 100% sure that I could actually keep going for the race. Like I said, I'm not feeling very well right now. And maybe doing this stream is a bit of a mistake, but I guess we'll see in the future. But for now, I'm just changing it. I'm just changing it. Hmm. My hands are very tired now, actually. Actually, give me a second. Then I should have a. It fell on the floor. Bloody I got I got an elastic bandage here that I'm actually gonna put on my hand because it's hurting. It's hurting a little bit now, and I can tell that if I don't do this now, it's gonna be hurting a lot more later. Remember, kids, prevention is better than cure. Or whatever, however that saying is goes. Is goes. I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. Other hand as well. I think I'm gonna do the other hand as well. Let's see if I can put my gloves over this. I mean, I know I can put it over the bandage, but I don't think I can put it over the other thing. Actually, maybe. No, look at that. Look. Oh, would you look at that? Hey! That actually works that actually works great. Nice. You know, Chad, I might actually wake up tomorrow without massive pain in my hands. Believe it or not, that might actually happen. La 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 la. Underland. Oh, someone posted something in the Underland. Coca-Cola cherry float. Okay, 5 minutes, chat. 5 minutes. And we will start our qualifying session. I am locked in. I'm so locked in right now. I am the lockedest in I've ever been. I just hope that I don't do the same thing that Foxy did while he was here, which is do this in a chair, except he did it in a plastic chair, and the plastic chair broke under him. Bro got a little too groovy for this world. I will look. Okay, 2 minutes. This is like gonna put this on my dating profile. Look at me, I'm sim racing guy. I got. You can see all my best qualities. I talk about the plastic chair incident. We did a little bit of this. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Dolph MSS. My best qualities are all in chat. Damn. Foxy. Captain Foxy, who is going to be commentating this race, I believe. So if we do exclamation point LPR, I think that should point you to the right Twitch stream. Or you can send me the link if you want, Foxy, because you're in the VC, damn. Let's talk to the Foxy. Yep.
So can you imagine?
Can we hear the Foxy?
Can
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm alive.
Hey amici sordi.
Did your mom just tell you off for screaming? I think his mom just told him off for screaming, guys.
She asked if I have deaf friends.
I mean, you could.
You got deaf friends? I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I got you. I got to scream like 3 times as loud to get, to go through.
It would help
So,
with the volume.
It's the volume fine, chat. It's the volume fine.
I mean, you look like
It's the volume.
I mean, you look like you are a touch louder than me, which shouldn't be a problem because I am gonna leave for the actual race because you're gonna be commentating.
I mean, I have to leave as well.
2 times, bloody hell. See, this is why they say that volume is non-linear.
I fell through the map.
Yep.
Is that not normal?
No.
Help?
Welcome to. No, it's normal in Croatia. That's actually what Croatia is
I'm
like.
stuck. I'm fully stuck because I can't pass menu because I constant fall.
Oh no.
My
Foxy,
spawn point.
What are you doing on the track? Aren't you like usually commentating?
Oh, hello. Welcome
What do
to
you
my
mean? What
welcome.
am I doing on the track?
Briefly, welcome to my stream.
Aren't you usually like
I'm
commentating,
gonna-
or am I missing something?
Anna. Well,
Yeah.
I need to be in the game to commentate.
Well, yeah, but you're usually just sitting in my pits.
He fell through the wall.
I should be. I should be in the pits. I'm falling through the floor.
Yeah.
That
fell-
sounds like an issue with the entry list to me. If you're falling through the floor.
But
No.
Yes, that very much sounds like an issue with the entry list to me. I've had that before.
I
No.
haven't done that. Well, I didn't change anything.
It's not on your end if it's an entry list issue.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I'm gonna.
Because I've had this I've had something like I have things like this happen before where people didn't spawn within their pit boxes or were falling through the map.
Yeah, I'm
because
falling
there
through the
were-
map here.
Yeah.
Because there were more there were more slots in the entry list, like the more configured slots in the entry list
My game is.
than pit boxes on the track that is being
Yeah.
used.
Okay, chat. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
my-
log off the VC now for performance reasons. I'll see you later.
Yes.
Understood.
And sorry, that was a brief visit with Foxy and also a fellow competitor here, Andrew Bayer, who is a who is a regular here in the league and usually an absolute joy to race against. But yeah, for performance reasons, I cannot be in VC. Discord is quite performance heavy nowadays, so. And like I'm already pushing it by streaming at all to. Yeah, we might end up with a. I don't think we'll end up with a qualifying restart, but we might end up with an extended wait because of that issue Foxy had. Because that sounds like something the admins might have to fix if they want a commentated broadcast. Yep. The FPS is actually quite terrible at the moment. Oh, I'm gripping the wheel like it owes me fucking money. Holy shit. Up. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna restart everything for really quick, cause like this is not acceptable anymore. I think Discord is stupid enough to keep breaking things even after I've left the call. Discord is genuinely that bad sometimes. So yeah. Also, I completely forgot to change my scene and nobody's fucking told me. Yippee. That's my first quali lap. In the bin. 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 Oh yeah, this already feels better. Bruh. I actually don't know if there's genuine no damage. I just don't get it. My tires up is not showing me any data for some reason. I don't know why. Fuck. Ugh. That's a bit shit. Really shit, actually. And I don't know why my tire up is broken. But it just is. I'm looking in. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. That's a PB. bad line. Like you get a bad line that you just cooked. It'd be lovely if my PB actually mattered. Because man, I'm struggling with these cars. Me and Bayer are both really struggling with these cars. Like, I just... and on this track, like, it's actually not as bad as it is on some others, because on this track I can kind of understand where the 3 seconds could be. I can't find them, but I know... But I at least know where to look. And... in a lot of other cases, I'm just... Like, this car just stumps me, really. I can... I can have what seems like a perfect lap to me and still be miles off. So yeah. Like, I'm never the fastest guy, but I'm usually not that slow, you know? But yeah, again, this car is just like, and this setup, I think, just really doesn't suit me at all. I'm gonna guess. Or maybe, because like, look, LPR has got some really skilled drivers, some proper fast guys, but I never used to be that off pace. And either I have gotten, and like, in theory, sure, I could have gotten that much slower, and they could, and maybe they could have gotten that much faster, but I don't think that is the case. Because that is technically possible. I don't believe that is realistically possible. I mean, either way, really. Ugh. Where's Luca? Is he... Oh yeah, he's dead. I mean, he ought to still be able to switch to other cars, right? Like, he doesn't need to actually be driving ever, so... The Volvo seems to be really good around here, actually. I mean, the leader is in a Beamer, but the Volvos are showing up in force, completing the rest of the top 4. And see, like, I feel like I maybe could even, like, I could have found another second and been with the group of Blanford, Ruplenes and Kairos. But I just didn't practice that much. But, like, anything beyond that, and I'm just... Actually... Yeah, maybe I'm not. Maybe it's actually... Maybe this car is not that bad for me, because now I'm realizing lap times. I wonder what kind of WTF that is. Like, what the fuck is that pace? Or did he, like, cause an incident already? Let me open up my... Open up my Discord again. Drugs. Let me keep an eye out on chat here. Okay, it's time to leave and rejoin the server. Because the way they do this stuff, we have to rejoin every time so they can apply penalties and the like. I am sleepy EP. Are you EP sleepy? I am EP sleepy. I am. What am I? We just waiting for the event server to go back up. Captain Foxy is OBS Studio. Racing. Yeah, I think it's like I thought. I think it's taken extra time because the admins are busy fixing the issue for the commentator. Commentator, which you can listen to by doing !LPR in the chat, and that will give you the link. And the server is on practice now. Something's cooked. Something's a bit cooked. But I'll just wait. Race 1 is not up. You hear that? Did you hear that honking? Holy hell. I am so... yeah, this is probably gonna get restarted. That's why I'm not clicking go yet. The fucking... These gloves are not easy to type on, let me tell you. Hey, Foxy. Yeah. That's why I'm. That's why I've not clicked go yet. I wanna check if I wanna be sure if we're restarting or not. Yeah. That's what I thought, Foxy. Like that's what I'm keeping an eye on it, but like. I mean, I can do a practice start for fun. I'll just do a practice start for fun. Like, this is gonna get restarted, we know that. But we're just doing this for fun. At least I know that it's gonna get restarted. But like, I just wanna do this for fun, so yeah. Yep, there we go, that's the restart. Connection lost. I don't know why they waited for so long to restart and let us actually have the practice start. But, you know. I'll take the practice start. What's the fucking C2? Underling. Yes, basically, like this series features 3 different cars, and but they are cars in the same class, and they have balance of performance applied. So these cars are basically as close as possible to each other, while still being different cars and feeling different to drive. But as you can see, there's a like. Yeah, the fastest driver in the BMW, the next 3 are in the Volvo, 6th is in the Nissan, but like almost nobody is in a Nissan. On this track, the 2 cars seem to be quite equal. And some tracks might favor one or the other, of course. And it's like perfect, but if you have multi-car fields, you cannot really have 100% perfect balance. But then you also, you know, everyone's driving the exact same car, and you don't get much choice of what to drive, and that can be not as fun. And especially that's, you know, that's how not a lot of and like since this is emulating a real championship, the real British Touring Car Championship, that is also a manufacturer championship, so different brands competing against each other. And so that's why we're actually using different cars and not just the one. Because obviously in real life there are also plenty of single make championships. You know, championships where it's genuine, where it is, you know, everyone has the same car. Although even then there are gonna be differences in setup and even just some random chance, you know, like if an engine is randomly manufactured better than the others, and you know produces like 5 more horsepower. That obviously happens in real life. Doesn't happen in sim. In sim it's all just car, the skill of the driver, and your skill as a setup maker as well, if setup is allowed. In this championship we have very fixed setup, so it is as much it is all basically almost all the way over to the driver skill category, to the driver skill requirement. That is so underling. Here is your overly convoluted answer that basically amounts to yes. It's like, you know, yeah, the full answer is yes, but there is nuance. That's basically as much answer as was really needed. I just decided to go into way too much detail. And yeah, this league also does like single car championships regularly. So, you know, the previous season was just the Renault RS01. And the season before that was just Ginetta GT4. The only difference was there was a left-hand and a right-hand drive version. Season before that was the Praga. And then we had the first 2 seasons, which were Super GT and BTCC again, so yeah. I'm hoping that the next season is something like WTCC. I actually enjoy those cars quite a bit. Or just touring cars. Like, I feel like touring cars are a good fit to what, to LPR. The Praga season, which was the one I joined for, was probably the worst. I'll be honest. Just because of the terrible fixed setup that they had. I understand the reasons for fixed setup in general, but I will continue shit talking that particular one. Okay, we got a race now, chat. Wish me luck. And no Corollas, no Corollas. There are no Toyotas here. That is a Nissan, that is a Volvo S40 ahead of me. There is one single Nissan Primera in the field, and I am on a BMW. I actually don't know if a Corolla ever participated in the BTCC championship. I mean, it could have, I think. I think it would fit the criteria. Yeah, all these people are way faster than me, unfortunately. Where the hell is Bayer? What the fuck? Oh man, this is not drivable straight up. The problem is that, like, this is just nonsense. The car just, like, gave up. Thing is, turn 1 is just really brutal on this track. It's complete nonsense. Okay, can I at least get 10th? Yeah, looks I'm not the only one struggling at least. It's funny because like we're driving these British touring cars, but we're definitely not driving the British trucks. Which, like, I mean, I do appreciate that. I feel like realistic restrictions on track selection are generally a terrible idea in sim racing. Just because there are so many considerations that exist in reality that do not apply in sim, and applying them artificially just limits the fun. Like, I think sim track selection should be based entirely on would it be would it be fun, would it be enjoyable to race. I think that should be the sole consideration in sim. And this is, I think it's enjoyable to drive. I'm not sold on the racing yet. Fuck! Shit. I just did not have nearly enough practice on this track, that's the problem. And my fucking tire sub is completely broken, and like, I don't know how hot my tires are. I don't know what's going on. It just locked up and died on me completely. I don't know why my tire sub is broken. It's fucking useless at this point. I should just quit, but no. But I'm still hoping that someone crashes up ahead. Like, what the fuck is that? What am I supposed to do? It just gives up. It's not drivable. Not really. I don't know. I don't like this truck anymore. It's my own fault for not practicing enough, I guess, but like, fuck me, man. I like parts of it. It's quite a flowing track. I appreciate that about it, and definitely no, I can't say I didn't like it. I just knew it was gonna be difficult. And like, the thing is, and even now, like, I cannot yet honestly say that I dislike the track itself. I know I'm not sold on the current track combo. Yeah. Like, I don't think this is a suitable car, a very suitable car for this track. I think it needs to be something like a Praga or a Radical even. Which made my game crashed. Ah, that's fucking frustrating, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated too, but mine is skill issue. Like, the thing is, I say all this, but like, genuinely, I'm just having a big skill issue because I didn't practice. That was a nice save. That's the whole thing. That's what it all boils down to. I did not practice basically at all for this track, and it's ruining me right now. And like race 1 is really my practice for race 2, to be honest. Because this is obviously gone, right? I'm not getting any positions here, but I'm learning. I'm learning more about these tires. I'm learning more about the track. I'm learning more about the car as I go. I just wish my fucking tire sub wasn't broken. Because I actually have no clue how worn my rubber is. But looks like everyone went with mediums for this track though, which is no surprise. This is like this track really, it abuses tires rather massively. Like you have all these high speed banked corners, which just forcing the tires to hold on for dear life. And all these curved acceleration zones and tricky braking and all kinds of things that softs I don't think would have survived at all. But the problem with medium is that they do this. They just give up on you. They just say no, I'm not gripping, and like no, I'm gonna lock up. And like I don't get it. I needed to have 100 laps to understand this, but I can't have 100 laps. I can't go in the past and have 100 laps. Like, see, that curb just kind of grabbed me. What? Like, what am I supposed to do here? That's not. It's not savable. It's not. Oh. And I have no motivation to practice when I can't make a fucking setup. Because then I just feel like I'm beating into a wall that's not a wall of my own skill, but a wall of rules, which feels significantly worse, and I feel like I'm not actually making any progress when I do that. That is a me issue to a big extent. I recognize that, but that doesn't mean it's not an issue, or that I can't complain about it. I don't know. I don't know where to brake. Like there is nothing obvious, and like. To be honest, I might end up quitting the championship after today, just because, for multiple reasons, no, I might not, because the next track will be Akayama. That should be significantly easier. This is probably the most difficult track on the calendar, straight up, so I shouldn't quit over it. But like, the thing is, I lack the motivation to practice, and maybe quite soon I'll be lacking the time as well, because I got a lot of shit I gotta do. Like, I have got a lead on what might be an actual decent job now. I got to move. I got to do a whole lot of shit. So I'm definitely not making any extra time to practice, right? And more importantly, I think I'll be running very low on energy and motivation to practice. And if motivation is... what the fuck? And I hate this. Like, the tires give up and I don't know until it's far too late to do anything about it. This is an immensely frustrating experience right now. This is not a track I should have gone into without practice. I should have with the practice, or I should have not done this. That's the thing. This is not a track that allows you to just show up and race. And this is not a track I have any previous familiarity with. Okay, I'm gonna finish the race just because I'm a fucking degenerate completionist sometimes. But the fact of the matter is that this car feels just barely even drivable around here. And the fact that I have no idea what it's a skill issue that I can't just understand that by myself, but at the same time, a skill issue is still an issue. Rotation. Yeah, like I said, look, as I said, it's to a large extent it is my own fault, but that doesn't make it much better in the moment. It is not my fault. I mean, it's not my fault that the track is just goofy. This is a goofy track. Can we agree on that? Can we all agree on that? That this is a very goofy track. That doesn't make it bad, but like it's weird. It's funny. It's goofy. It's not a normal racetrack by any stretch of imagination. I mean, this T1 alone, like, I think this is objectively brutal, right? This is, I think you will, just anyone will agree with me that it is an absurd turn one. Okay. Yeah, I have to really get out of the way. I really don't want to be getting in the way of the leaders, so made sure to get out of the way as much as I could. Like, everyone's taking a way different line in the last corner than me, so like I feel like I'm doing something very wrong now. Seriously, who designed this turn one? Did they design it specifically to kill people? Like, what the fuck do they actually race around here? That's what I want to know. What kind of cars? I mean, just about every small truck races some flavor of touring car, right? you know, some your touring cars, whatever's popular in the in 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 the in the locations, like I don't know what kind of cars, what kind of racing is popular in Croatia. Bikes, obviously. I mean, yeah, that goes without saying. This is a very obviously. This is very obviously a motorcycle track. I mean, look at it. Look at the corners. Like, only a motorcycle track would have literally every corner profiled like this. Yeah, I saw a typo. Few of them even. Simonas is in the pit lane. Why is Simonas in the pit lane? Open track. I mean, obviously track days, but like track days ain't racing, right? I think like just statistically, just about every track has more track days than racing. I mean, okay, not any, but like I think statistically there's a ton of tracks that just do more track days than racing. A lot easier to host a track day than a race weekend, you know? A lot cheaper. Yeah, for motorcycles, a lot of these corners are probably a lot more reasonable. Maybe they can even do turn one without getting fucking blown up. But believe it or not, a 99 BMW BMW 330i ain't a motorcycle. Believe it or not. Juan Gramage has won the race. Damn. Gramage. 1, 2, 3. Like, a lot of people seem to... Okay, they don't go that wide, but they did go a lot wider than me. This is so... This is such a racetrack, you know. Weehaw! What? How did I not hit either of them? That was just some threading the needle type shit. Let's check Discord. Also, I gotta put my alarm on for tomorrow for Grand Prix of Japan. Yeah, I ain't getting a lot of sleep tonight. Because it starts at 7 and like... we're going to summertime, which is the dumbest shit ever. Fuck DST. Daylight savings time is for stupid. For stupids. Alarm set. Spania podium. Hey, this is really an all Spanish podium. I'm actually going to be going straight to bed after this race. I just realized just how little sleep I'm going to be getting. Otherwise. Captain Fox is playing Grand Theft Auto 4, the complete edition. Waiting for race 2 server. Vroom. Seasons. Okay, let's see. Is the server going back up? That's a no. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong server. My brain's so cooked, like I was looking at the wrong server for a solid several minutes. Lovely. Alright, let's put an end to this clown show, eh? It's a clown show because I'm there. Uncle Luca Lamau. Alright, let's get this over with, eh? Starting dead last. Right. No going off track this time around, eh? Lua debug. Something's wrong with the tires. Can I have like the vanilla tires up at least? There we go. So that way I have at least something, right? It ain't as good as a Pro tires, but it's something. I can just tell, oh, I'm spinning. I'm spinning because my right rear is fucking cooked and I need to be careful with it. You know, maybe I can even tell it before the spin. Alright, let's go. Fuck. Sorry, mate, but like... There was light contact there, but like genuinely very light contact. Hello, goodbye. That's a shame. Can't complete lap 1 without somebody dying, you know? It's illegal. I could have done something. Ah, shit, man. I didn't. I just was waiting to see where he was gonna go, but like, he ended up going right in front of me, and like at that point, like I thought if he was, I couldn't tell if he was gonna keep spinning off track or gonna spin onto the track. Don't know if I can even blame him for that. I think that was just like a, fuck's sake, man. The fight was right there. That was poor crash avoidance, not though, I have to admit. I'm not on it today, I'm not even close to it. Very far off of it. Very far. Sorry, Bobby. Sorry that happened to you, friend. This time at least I managed to not crash into the stationary car. I'm not talking much because I have to be fully locked in for this. Unfortunately, Simonos seems to be locking in just a bit harder than I am. Hey Willie, how you doing? Chainik with a whistle. Yeah, I think, yeah. I'm almost, I'm halfway done with this race, and that'll be the it. I'm going straight to bed as soon as this is over. That was a mistake, but not too big of one. Yeah, I don't think I'm catching Simonas. That's a shame. This truck is fucking brutal, man. I really shouldn't have gone with that little practice as I did. Yeah, been alright. Got... Oh. Don't know how long it's been since we bought the last year, but I did find out a couple weeks ago I'm gonna have to move from this apartment since the landlords don't want to be renting this out anymore, so yeah. I think I'm gonna have to look for a room instead of an apartment though, just cause that can be hard for like... That can be had massively cheaper. Like if I find an apartment that probably would end up costing me the same as this. If I find a room it can be like 3 times cheaper, if I'm lucky. Like I said, what I'm gonna do is, well, I think I already answered that. Fucking stupid mistake, Anno. No! No, 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 no! Overpushed. I got overtaken and immediately overpushed. That was a, again, silly mistake to make, Anno. But yeah, like I said, I'm just looking for new apartments now. I'm looking for for like a shared one, so I can just because again that can be just way cheaper. I mean, maybe, but like, ain't nobody's gonna give me a goddamn room for free. And obviously, I will prioritize, you know, finding a Russian-speaking landlord if possible. That I will just make things a lot easier for everybody involved. But that's an if possible kind of thing, you know? That was actually a solid overtake he's done there, because like he just pushed me just hard enough to force me on a terrible line, which made me lose a ton of time. If I was a better driver, I could have maybe defended, but I had to fight to even keep control. Believe it or not, I'm not upset about that. That was because that was actually cleanly done by him. I think that's basically what you have to do to overtake around here. Force the opponent to make a mistake rather than, you know, just overtake them. I'm also obviously monitoring a lot of the Russian language spaces for like offers of, because sometimes, you know, rent offers get posted there sometimes, so I'm looking out for that, obviously. Oh wow, I think I shouldn't have downshifted there. But yeah, that was my first spin in this race, which is better than I did in the first race. So, you know, I'll take that. Yeah, I just need to be doing a lot more practice for these events if I'm gonna keep doing them. I'm liking the motivation right now. That's just it. I'm liking the motivation to do practice. And I can, and yeah, like again, it is partially because of the car, but that is not the biggest part of it. I just don't have the motivation and the energy to keep doing this right now, I don't think. So I think I'm definitely gonna do the next race just because it's a track that I know I enjoy quite a lot, but I don't, and again with like the whole stress of having to move and all that. Yeah, no, returning, it's something I've been asked to consider by my family, right? But I really can't consider that. Not at this point. And maybe to an extent it's probably also sunk cost fallacy over me, you know, already having spent over three years here, that it would feel like just too big of a failure to go back. But at the same time, like, what the fuck am I going back to? Like, genuinely, what the fuck am I going back to? The only thing I'll have there that I don't have here would be a fucking... The only thing I have here that I won't have... That I have there that I won't have here is, you know, a room in my mom's apartment. Yeah. That too. Now, I don't actually... I'm not certain what the exact situation is with, you know, drafting and conscription right now, but... the problem with that is that that situation tends to develop towards the worst, and it's not gonna stop. So yeah. Like, not. What I'm saying is, like, even if I ignore that, like, even if I straight up ignore that, there are not that many advantages. There would not be many advantages at all, even if that is ignored. It would be like marginally easier for me to find work, I suppose. Because, like, to put it blunt, like, for the main obstacle in to finding actual work for me has always been me. That I was just like fucking awful at the whole job searching process. So yeah. Wait, not that they can not that they can say no either. What are you talking about? I don't. About. Ah, yeah. No, to getting your ass sent. No, you really can't. Again, like, it's something that I think at the moment they're not, strictly speaking, allowed to legally do, but, you know, when has that ever stopped? When has that ever stopped them, you know? Yeah, because, you know, technically conscripts are not supposed to be... Your regular conscripts are not supposed to be sent to combat zones, right? That's the law on paper. But first of all, I know conscripts can only be used, like, to defend your territory, legally speaking. But first of all, first of all, Russia now legally considers places, you know, Russia now legally considers parts of Ukraine its territory, so they can send fucking conscripts there. And also, second of all, as a conscript, you could very easily be like you can literally be forced to sign a contract, and then you're no longer a conscript. Then you're like a contracted soldier. You can be sent fucking wherever. And third of all, they can send you wherever they want anyway, like, because laws are just a fucking words on a paper around there. Can't I be a cook or mechanic as a job? Well, straight up, being a cook is an infamously stressful job, and I think I genuinely don't believe I'm capable of that. Unless it's in the army. I mean, I guess... Yeah, but, like, you get yeah, your options are limited. You can, like, try to be a cook or a mechanic, but are they gonna let you be a cook or a mechanic? Maybe you don't... Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's not like that in any army. You always have to have garrison, you always have to have supply guys, you always have to have a whole lot of support crew. Yeah. I mean, an army is fucking... logistics probably the most important part of any army. I mean, that's why the US can do all the shit they do. They're actually... They got the best fucking logistics. But yeah. That's... Yeah, exactly. We're exactly on the same thought process here. I mean, can't fight no war if you ain't got no bullets, and if you can't have any bullets if you ain't got good logistics. Simple as that. And can't fire a bullet if you aren't being fed enough to pull the trigger. And that's logistics. Everything's fucking logistics. Like, yeah, I think there's like this famous story, possibly apocryphal, but one that demonstrates the concept is that in World War II, the Japanese knew they were cooked when they started seeing American ice cream barges going with their fleets. But yeah, we're gonna have to end the stream here though, because the race is over and I am cooked. I have to wake up early tomorrow. I straight up, I have to go to bed like right away. So like, would love to stay here for a while, but yeah. This week spoke to, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of young people are at this point looking for a way. I mean, I think it ain't like being sent to being. It's not like being drafted is the only problem of being in Russia. Like at this point, the economy is going down to shit. The internet is slowly getting blocked to the point where this is very much affecting regular people at this point. Like if you live in certain regions, especially and a lot of regions, basically, if you live near any strategic companies, you gotta live under threat of your city being targeted by drones. Yeah, no, just because you can stay a civilian over there, don't mean it's very good. No, I remember. You have, yeah, I know you're very aware of. You're very aware of what I'm talking about. I remember. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine quite a few people are looking to live there as well now. Not as many, definitely not as many, but I'd imagine it's I imagine it's still a non-zero amount for sure. But then again, yeah, if that sort of thing has been normalized for a much longer time now as well, though, in Israel, right? Because it's far from the first time. Far from the first time in most people's lifetime. So I suppose anyone who would have wanted to live already did. So, and the people who remain are the ones who aren't gonna want to. Because yeah, like it's very much not a new thing. On the left. I mean, I'll, yeah, yeah, no, I do. No, I'm pretty sure I'd leave. I'm pretty sure I'd leave. I'll tell you that much. Unless I was like fully sure I don't have a better option. I mean, that sounds reasonable. You run from one war, another finds you, so you still run away. Run away. I'm saying that like. I'm not a huge fan of that wording actually, but you know, you still leave. Well, yeah, look, I really gotta go sleep now though, cause like otherwise I'm gonna be fucked tomorrow. So I have to stop now. I'll let you finish your thought. I'll let you finish your thought. So I just have to type something in the chat. Mm. Mm. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's one thing is that for someone who just tries very hard not to attach the heart to any particular location or any particular nation, it might be hard to understand. I can understand that in theory, but only in theory. Yeah, okay, let me just unmount my wheel actually. Ugh. I mean, a big part of it is like cultural. It's a cultural thing. It's a passion. It's a religious thing as well, and and like I mean, if it's neither, it's a identity. I mean, yeah, uh, identity doesn't identity doesn't exist in a vacuum though. And like at least nothing really does. Like at the end of the day, you are influenced by what you hear, what you learn growing up, by everything around you. I mean, yeah, at this point, we're just getting into out of conversation about the specific topic and more into the general human experience, right? How much people are just good old nature versus nurture. How much people are shaped by what is inherent to them. How much people are shaped by by what they're influenced by. And I believe far more in the nurture side of things, right? That people are mostly defined by their influence. People are shaped always by their experience. And very and you and that